Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So I'm on vacation this week, and I thought that in today's video we would do something a little more fun. We're going to use some makeup that I already have in my stash and try to recreate Marilyn Monroe's famous look. And so I went on to YouTube and I watched Lisa Eldridge's video, which is great. And I learned a lot from watching it. And then I also found Pinup Palmer. And she does like some spooky pink kind of looks and stuff on her videos. And she did the Marilyn Monroe look, but more of a drag version. And so I didn't really see a difference with hers too much from Lisa Eldridge's. So I just decided to go with her, with the steps that she took in her video to try to recreate this look. So one of the tricks that he did was he put Vaseline on her face just to give that youthful glow. And even in looking at photos of Marilyn, I noticed that she had like a lot of peach fuzz over here on her face. And I thought, I feel like I have a hair on my face, so I'm sorry I keep touching it. She had like peach fuzz like right here, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I never noticed that about Marilyn Monroe before. And then as I was watching some videos about her look and how she created it, and you know how she created it with Whitey Snyder, she liked the way the lights would hit her face in movies, and when she would have photos taken of her, and it would kind of reflect off of the blonde peach fuzz that she had on her face. So she left it there purposefully. It's funny that today we don't do that. We actually shave it off, or we get rid of that so that our products lay really nicely on our skin and they look flawless. But for Marilyn Monroe, it worked. Okay, so what I did was I prepped my skin, and I used the Tatcha Ageless Enriching Renewal Cream. So this is a very emollient face cream. I love it. And so I wanted to give myself a good boost of hydration. And so the makeup that we're going to use is we're going to try using the Tier. If you want to see a dedicated video, it's in my foundations playlist. I did review this foundation previously. It's a Japanese foundation. For highlight, I'm going to go in with this Dior because you'll see when we get there. And then to create that Vaseline look, I'm going to use this Say highlighting gel. I believe the shade is Star Glow. For my lids, I'm going to use this Danessa Myricks. This is, I think, the lightest shade in her nude line of her Color Fix line. You can use these multiple ways, but I grabbed that. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me to bake. And then I just took 5 different red lip liners out, and we'll have to figure that out when we get there. But the red shades that I picked are the NARS Snapdragon. I have a mini of that. I have this Glossier gloss. I'm going to see if that's going to fit into it. This Milani, this is a, what are they calling this? Well, it's like a liquid lip, but it's hydrating. And then also I grabbed this Huda liquid matte to get the red lips. And I also grabbed this Revlon shade that somebody who bought her lipstick at an auction was able to match the shade. And so I went out and I purchased this a few months ago. But this is apparently a shade that Marilyn Monroe really loved. And we're going to use a taupe eyebrow pencil. I also needed a white eyeliner. This is from Makeup Forever. I might also use a highlighter out of the Jeffree Star palette. This is his Brain Freeze palette. I don't know if he still sells this. So I've had it for a long time, but it still works. And then Pinup Palmer also used shades from Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette, and I just happen to have this palette. And then I also grabbed Lunar Beauty's Outer Dimension palette because that also has a couple of shades in it that I might find useful for this look. So it seems like a lot of products, but it's when we go through it, we go through the steps, you're going to see why we needed as many as we did. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it and start creating this look. So first and foremost, because Marilyn had very flawless, youthful skin, and I have some hyperpigmentation issues, I went in with the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, and I just kind of covered those up just so we could kind of jump ahead a little bit. And then on the corners of my eyes, I use this Charlotte Tilbury. This is like a color correcting. It's a peach. And I basically just put that like on the sides to kind, because my eyes are slightly downturned, so I want to kind of lift them up a little bit. So that's just a little trick that I learned. So let's go ahead and start off by putting on some of the Say Star Glow. And hopefully the foundation doesn't, you know, mattify it too much. But here's the thing. Marilyn Monroe's makeup is not warm whatsoever. And because I have olive undertone, I tend to buy neutral shades, but sometimes they look kind of warm. And so I did have another foundation that I was going to use, but honestly, I think the Tier is going to be my best bet because I'm going to try to achieve that very light look that she has. This shade is actually a little too light for me. It's 21N Ivory. She said that she wanted to be blonde all over. So that's why you never saw her like where she looked like she was out in the sun because she just didn't like that look. So yeah, I think this is like the perfect foundation. And you don't need a lot of this foundation. And if I use a brush, I'm going to get a lot more coverage with it. But I also don't want to take away the glow underneath. Now, this is a semi-matte, but it's supposed to give you that glass-like skin. So that's another reason why I was thinking that this would be like the perfect foundation for this look. But then what Pinup Palmer did, she took this Fit Me loose powder, and I don't normally do this, so this is going to be a little weird for me, to be honest with you, but then she took and she just like baked. And she did a lot of baking, but because I think you have to like really go in. And she just kind of went around. So she went under the eye and around the nose to the side of the eyes. Okay, so she went like this and then like on the side of the nose here. Contour, and I'm gonna go in with this Hollywood Duo by Charlotte Tilbury, because her contour was kind of subtle. It wasn't like the way we contour today. She was just trying to like basically like cast that shadow on her skin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to like maybe go over that a little bit with the Celebrity Skin. Yeah, believe it or not, that kind of like darkened it a little bit. So, okay. Went in with, now I'm going to use a little bit of this, Danessa Myricks, because I really want to, I don't want any color on my eyebrow, on my eyelid, sorry. I don't want any color there, so I'm trying to really, like, almost like, I want it to be like as bright and white as possible. See that? So when she was doing it, you could see that her eyelids looked like super white. And that's what I want to do here, because you're going to lay the groundwork then to do the eyeliner. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in with this white from the Lunar Beauty palette, and I'm going to go over it. And I'm going to bring it right down into there. Oh, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take that same Celebrity Skin shade from the Jeffree Star palette, and then I'm just going to go very lightly into my crease, because I don't want it to be dark, because Marilyn Monroe didn't wear it dark. And you want to bring it up just a little bit, but you want to kind of stay in that crease area, so you don't want it to be too high, but you want to deepen it a little bit. Okay, and then with the eyebrows, if I could find it, oh here, she said use a taupe shade. And then Marilyn Monroe, because she had a wide forehead, or a very, she had a long forehead, she didn't want that to be like a big focal point. And so what Whitey did was he basically like made her eyebrows like point upwards, like right here. He created like this faux arch. Okay, that was a little trickier to do than I thought it was going to be. They're not even, but they're cousins. So I tried to get them, to look as matchy-matchy as I could. Okay, and then she moved on to the nose contour. Marilyn Monroe actually had some cosmetic surgery done. One of the things that she fixed on her face was her nose. And so she had a very nice nose, and sometimes she even thought it still wasn't thin enough. And so what Whitey did was he created a contour to try to, highlight to make it look thinner and create more of an illusion. So, and Pinup Palmer also has a nose, like she said it's not similar to Marilyn's, but it's way more similar to Marilyn's than mine is. So, since she went around like this, okay, and then she took a white shade or a lighter shade, and she said you want to exaggerate the bulb, take down around the nostrils, draw a shadow to lift the nose so that there's a circle around the tip. I have a lot of notes here. And then with a flat brush, use a vanilla white powder, but it has to be matte. And then take it down the bridge and on the bulb, the tip. Okay. Anyway, and then I think she took that white down the center, and she also brought it like up here. And then she also took some of the white and put it like almost like in the corner, kind of like to brighten. There is one thing I won't do with this, and that is Whitey put like red eyeliner in the corners of her eyes, and I have a terrible, like, I just get such a reaction from red dyes, so I can't do that step. She took a white pencil and then she kind of like took the white and like kind of brought it out to the side. I know that looks really weird, but this is the trick that to doing her eyes, or doing it like her eyes were. So you kind of like, because you're gonna make that shadow, you're gonna do like an illusion here. Okay. And then also on the inside rim of the eyes, because he tried to make her eyes look very open and white, like the whites of her eyes to stand out. So we're going to do that too. So there's that part. Now we're going to take this little brush and we're going to go in. I'm going to try using this one from the Charlotte Tilbury, because I don't want to go too dark. And I'm just kind of, what he did was he kind of brought that shadow like out. I might have to go a little bit deeper because I'm not sure this is really showing up. Okay. And I'm just going to go in with this white and this yellow a little bit, and I'm just going to go in my under eye there. We do the top, and I'm going to use the NYX matte because this is tricky. I've got to get really super close. You start on the inner rim, or the top, but like on the inside of the eye, and then you gotta bring it all the way out. Okay, liner is on. I think you can start to see that illusion part on the bottom there that we did. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with some mascara, and I am going to use, it's going to give me some drama. So I'm going to use this Huda one coat wow, and hopefully I don't regret this because I don't want to ruin the whole look. But because she wore falsies, and I'm going to see if I can try to get away with not doing the falsies. We'll see how this goes. So what Whitey did was he emphasized this outer part of her eyes with her lashes, but he still did use mascara. Lashes are on. I think I achieved some pretty good drama with that mascara. Do blush, and she said do something. Well, she said two different things. Do something on the coral side, but pink. So I'm going to grab my Alamar brush, and I'm going to use an RMS blush. It's very pink. And then she just basically like went over where she did the contour. Okay. So the blush is on. Hopefully I didn't do too much. Okay, and then let's see, lips, do a darker red on the outside and a lighter red on the inside. So I grabbed a few different liners. So this one is Melt. And then this one is Milani. They look very similar, but I think the Milani is a little bit darker. So Marilyn did a lot of things to her lips to make them look that way. Okay, round out, heart shape, darker liner, and then lighten to fill in. Okay, so now let's take the melt, which is a little bit lighter. Okay. And now I'm going to use this Milani Color Fetish. And I'm going to fill in the Huda on the inside. She actually used like a bunch of different, this is like a big layering technique that they came up with. So you see how it's like darker on the outside and then it's a little bit lighter on the inside. Okay, then she took some highlighter, and I'm using the Dior. I'm using that lightest shade, and then she kind of like, or Whitey, tapped it like in the middle. This is like a trick to kind of make your lips look a little bit bigger. And again, this isn't going to be exactly perfect. I'm trying to copy what a makeup art, with two different makeup artists did. One copying the original, and then her doing it herself, which it looked amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into this Dior, because then for highlight, she said, put highlight on the highest points of the cheeks, put on the brow bone, put a little on the lip, which I already did. And then the last thing we're going to do is the mole, and that should be interesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back into that lightest shade again, this one right here. And so she went at the high points of the cheek. It's like the part with the highlight you have to be careful with, because you don't want anything that's going to be too beaming. And I'm going to just pat the tip of my nose here, because I feel like it got really light on the end there. Okay, and then for the mole, what she did was she took the duo liner, or the duo glue that you use to do your lashes with, and she took a bobby pin and put a little bit on the little bulb, and then she just, you know, dotted it on her face, and she said you get a perfect circle. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to use the same black liner that I used, the NYX Vivid Matte. Okay, we're just having fun, right? Okay, so I'm just going to take the headband off, and we're going to assess. Okay, my friends, so here's the finished look. There's the eyes. So you have to let me know what you think, or if you're going to try this yourself. I thought this was fun to try to do. I mean, I've always wanted to try copying Marilyn Monroe's look. There's her. She always did, like, when she would do her photos, she always like put her chin forward, and then she would do like those sleepy, like those dreamy eyes. Yeah, so this was a lot of fun. Let me know if you guys, you know, try it out yourselves. I think it's fun to try to do these kind of looks once in a while. And like I said, I always wanted to try it. So I hope you found this video entertaining. I thought it was a nice little deviation from trying on new makeup or talking about new products. and just really just having fun, just following a makeup artist's rendition of Whitey Snyder's look that he created for Marilyn Monroe. So if you're not already following me, please give me a follow and join our little makeup family here. And follow me over on Instagram. I'd love to be friends with you over there as well. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me. And leave a comment if you'd like. There's more to come. I want to thank you so much for joining me and watching this video. I really do appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon.